Hi guys, I've been asked a lot lately about the new wonder drug that is coming onto the market for weight loss. And so I thought I'd give a bit of background on it and just my thoughts on it. And so the drug is called Wegovy, I think is how you pronounce it, but it's basically very similar to Ozempic for anyone that's familiar with Ozempic, which is a diabetes medication. It's actually in short supply at the moment because it's so popular globally. And so the way these things work, they're what they call a GLP-1 agonist. So they're real power when it comes to weight loss. They do help with controlling diabetes, and Ozempic is actually PBS listed for diabetes management, whereas Wegovy will just be for weight loss. But the way they work is that they really suppress appetite. And so it has a pretty significant impact on weight loss. They're a once a week injectable. You start at a lower dose of about 0.25 milligrams and you sort of titrate up each month to a stronger dose. Wegovy is a slightly stronger dose than what Ozempic is, so it gets up to 2.4 milligrams, after a number of months, whereas Ozempic sort of maxes out at 2 milligrams. And so what they found in the research is that the average weight loss was 15.3 kilos over a 68-week period. So pretty substantial. Like it's quite exciting. I, for one, am a big fan of medication for weight loss. I know that might surprise a lot of people, but all of it must form part of sort of diet and lifestyle changes. You can't really do these things in isolation. Well, I mean, you can, but you're probably not going to keep the weight off longer term because, inevitably you'll have a break or you'll stop doing it or it gets too expensive because these things are quite expensive. And if you haven't changed your diet or your lifestyle in any way, then the weight's coming back. And that's what they found in one of these trials. There was significant weight regain with it. So, they're not a silver bullet. They're not something that, you can just take for a while and think that it's going to solve your problems forever and a day. But they are something that we should really have in our toolbox and something that, I'm actually a big advocate for. Self-discipline is not enough to lose weight successfully long term. Yes, there are a small minority of people that can do it, but the vast majority cannot do it over the longer term just by being quite rigid with their diet, if you like, and exercising more. Because that in itself is quite difficult, and humans are naturally lazy, and we're also naturally hungry because our hunger system is basically designed to keep us alive, and so we get hungry for a reason. And when you're trying to lose weight, there's a real conflict there, and it doesn't really stack up. So for that reason, I am a massive fan of these medications. They won't be for everyone. They can make you quite nauseous. They can give you diarrhea. So the side effects, for most people, they tend to be pretty mild. They do tend to dissipate after a period of time, will become less. But if you can get through that period, then, by all means, I think they're a really good option for people to look into. But the thing that I stress is that it really also needs to form part of some significant diet changes and, of course, exercise. The benefits of which are beyond just weight loss. Like if you're eating healthy and you're exercising, then your cardiometabolic risk factors drop, so you've got a decreased risk of heart events. Obviously blood glucose levels controlled, but Alzheimer's, dementia, that sort of thing improves, and just mental health in general. So yes, I'm a fan of these, but not in isolation. Don't just think you can take a weekly injection and it's going to solve all your problems, because it might put your problems, to the back of the list for a little while. But until you've really, made some sustainable lifestyle choices, then unfortunately the problems will just re-emerge. And so I do give it a big tick. I am a fan, but by all means, still look at the lifestyle changes. Don't forget, the stuff that we've always been taught, because it's there for a reason. Thanks.